here at the High Court on what has been a victory day for hundreds of thousands of consumers who have been missold payment protection insurance in recent years.
Thankfully, the banks have just had a kicking, which is always good to hear.
Payment protection insurance has been one of the biggest mis-selling scandals over the last decade. And just about anybody that took out a loan over the last 10 years, we've probably sold a payment protection insurance policy. And payment protection insurance, in theory, isn't an awful product. The idea is that if you're unable to make your loan payments because you're sick and unable to work, then you've got some protection in place there. The problem is there were all sorts of exclusions that lay behind payment protection insurance policies, and they were often sold to people who never could have claimed on them anyway. So, self-employed people, for example.
And the FSA ruled last year that the way in which these products are sold has to change. So you can't sell it at point of sale and you can't add it to the loan effectively as a single premium. So I think that was fine as far as the banks, but then the FSA said, guess what? We're going to apply it retrospectively. And that effectively could mean that tens or hundreds of thousands of cases have now got to be reviewed.
This is a fantastic day. It's only the first day, but the banks lost and they deserve to lose. You will no longer have to knock on the bank's door to get your money back. If they have systemically missold to you, which they have in many cases, i.e. they see a case and go, well, we did this a lot and this is wrong, they have to come knocking on our door saying, we may owe you some money.
So with the banks now expected to deal with millions more PPI complaints, how much is this going to cost the banks in compensation and who's going to foot the bill?
It's reported at the moment that it could be around about £2 billion. So it's not, it's not a sum of money that should just be sneezed at. I mean, it's a substantial amount of money. That said, every time there's an increase from regulatory pressure and there's a cost on the bank, no doubt we as consumers somewhere down the line have to pay it back.
The disgrace of this is two of those banks are substantially owned by the taxpayer. It's taxpayers' money that has gone to fight the regulator telling them that they need to be fair.
It's money that's going to pay the bill for the compensation.
Well, we will certainly circulate some of that cash, some of that quantitative easing that's been spreading around the economy from the Bank of England that's not gone far enough, that hasn't been given to real people. We'll put it into consumers' pockets, they'll put it into businesses' pockets, and we'll all be better off. So some of it, yes, will be taxpayer money. Most of it, I hope, will be coming out of the bank's profits because they made profits unfairly and wrongly.
But is this the end? Will the banks just admit defeat and pay up, or will they appeal today's decision and carry on the fight?
Certainly it'll go to the Court of Appeal. I suspect if the banks lose again, they've got lots of money, they'll go to the Supreme Court and we'll wait.
If previous cases are anything to go by, then the banks have an opportunity to appeal. I think the interesting thing is we have to bear in mind that this case is against the FSA and they're there as the regulators of the banks. So I'm wondering whether on this occasion they'll just go quietly. We'll have to wait and see.